Am I the asshole for, rudely, telling my husband I decide who is in the delivery room? So for context, I, 28F, am currently pregnant with my partner, 31M, and am a first-time mom. My hospital recently changed their policy and are now allowing 2 support people in the delivery room. My mother-in-law, Mill, made comments early on that she wanted to be there for the birth, and this woman is not subtle. At the time I felt protected by CVD protocols, but set that expectation straight. I explicitly stated that anytime I give birth it will be a private medical experience that only includes my husband and medical team. I thought that it was clear it wasn't a debate because it's my body and I have the autonomy to decide who sees it in any context. Additionally, I do not have a good relationship with my Mill. She just recently started initiating positive interactions after years of me trying, and it's absolutely because she's an "it's my grandbaby" person. Recently my husband told me we needed to have a discussion. He starts off by saying he mentioned the support person protocol change to his mother. I tried not to react but immediately I blurted out asking him why he would do that. He goes on to say he knows his mother really wants to be in the room to see the baby's first breath. I replied logically, if your mom sees their first breath she will also see me pushing and will be looking down at my vagina. I actually had to explain why I refused to give birth in front of his mother. I then told him that there are only 2 priorities in the delivery room and neither of them are his mother or her feelings. The discussion continued back and forth. Finally I started crying. I told him that labor and birth will be most painful and vulnerable experience of my life and that I need him to protect me. I told him that anyone who refuses to protect their pregnant partner failed them and is just deadweight in the delivery room. My husband told me I am rude, other negative things too, left our apartment, and when he came back he wasn't speaking to me. This is where I think I could be ta. I told him giving me the silent treatment because I won't let his mother spectate as my most intimate area rips open was very immature and made me worry if he has the emotional intelligence to support me in the delivery room. I think my husband took my hint, but I didn't explicitly say that I can decide he won't be allowed in there either. I will say I would be devastated if I had to do that and never thought this would ever be a problem during my pregnancy. So am I the asshole? Info. I did cuss when talking about fucking ripping, but that was it. I also wasn't yelling, but I was sobbing loudly enough during it that my neighbor next door knocked to check on me after he left. Edited for added info. I saw some questions. Sorry about not including this originally. I'm a mess currently. I have a mother and 2 sisters, both moms, who I love endlessly, but I didn't ask any of them to be in the delivery room because I only want my husband there. Also I did not yell at my husband at any point during this interaction, I was sobbing. I didn't lose my cool, in fact my husband's screaming was why my neighbor in the apartment next door heard and came and knocked after he left. She told me when I answered the door, I move slower these days, that she was so glad I answered because she was considering calling. Sorry, not sure if those numbers aren't allowed here, so just in case. Not the asshole. Your husband pulled a moronic move going behind your back to let Mill know she might be able to be in there. That, my dear, is fully 100% up to you. In fact, I think you need to let the staff know that under no circumstances is she allowed in the room. Give them a close-up mug shot of her. Not the asshole. This is insane. Hold your ground op. Edit. Ask your husband how he'd feel if your dad chaperoned a future vasectomy. You know, to provide support and coach him through it. Some people need analogies. Not the asshole. What is with all the MILs in the world suddenly deciding they need to see the birth of their grandchildren? No Mill I've ever met thought she deserved to be in the delivery room. It's completely up to you who is in the room. But beware, she might try to sneak in. Make sure the hospital staff knows it just you and your husband. Maybe have him watch a video of a live birth so he understands how absolutely vulnerable you will be in that moment. Not the asshole. She wants to see the baby's first breath? So she's going to be hovering and getting in the way of your medical team doing their jobs? Hell no. I mean, also hell no, she cannot be there if you don't want her for any reason. Your delivery, your call. The only reason for anyone to be in that room is to help you and the baby. If an adult woman can't drop some F-bombs while discussing her own vagina with her own husband, I don't know what the world is coming to. Not the asshole. If you are seriously considering not having your husband in the room, or even if he is there, you should look into getting a doula. I had one for my second delivery and she was amazing. Since you can have 2 people, that would allow you to have the support you need, even if you end up kicking the hubby out of the room at some point. Not the asshole. I think that's a reasonable amount of vitriol to have. People are focusing on the mill here, but the real issue is your husband's maturity. Maybe you do need to have a talk with him about putting you and the baby first? And forget about the birth, that's the easy bit. The first few months are way harder and he's gonna have to have his shit together. Not the asshole. Also, if you can get a doula. Someone that will support you and stick up for you. From knowing how to rub your back to reduce the pain of cramping, to knowing how to coach the breathing. Then, whoops, your support people spots are full. And if you do end up kicking him out, or he faints from the blood, you won't be alone, you'll have a medical-ish person there just to cheer you on. Not the asshole, but you seem to have a just no mill situation as well as a potential just no so. I strongly recommend that you password protect your info with your doctor and the hospital staff and make it glaringly clear to the staff that the only person allowed in your room is your so. If he ends up letting her in, which is likely, do yourself a favor and kick both of them out. Have your mom, sister, friend on standby if needed. Don't hesitate to call a nurse and tell them you don't feel comfortable and have them escorted out. Labor is stressful enough, and having someone there that pings your anxiety meter can stall the delivery and force an emergency C-section. Take this seriously, please. Not the asshole. Your husband is immature and insensitive. The labor and delivery will be the most vulnerable moment of your life, and your husband is basically emotionally abandoning you and prioritizing his mother's feelings over yours. It's utter selfishness and callousness. Not the asshole. His mommy can stay in her lane. Not the asshole. It's his child, but it's not his birth. He doesn't get to try to pressure you into letting his mother be there, and quite frankly, he is lucky you want him there at all at this point. Not the asshole. I think you'll just need to tell your mill yourself, since your husband can't seem to do it. It's just such a personal experience, I don't know why neither one of them get that. Not the asshole. Is the mill being in the delivery room a common thing? It's frankly bizarre that this is a discussion that needs to be had. Was your MIL's mill in the room when her son was born? Not the asshole, and start discussing boundaries for mill now. This the start of a shitshow of boundary stomping. Not the asshole. It is absolutely up to you who is or is not in the room. Giving birth is the most vulnerable and exposed I have ever felt, and I cannot imagine having anyone there that I was not 100% comfortable with. His mother will have to wait until you are ready. Not the asshole. It is your decision who is in the room when you give birth. You don't need to feel more anxious or stressed during an already stressful time. Your husband needs to have your back and stop giving you the silent treatment. Him giving you the silent treatment is a very good reason to doubt his ability to support you during delivery. Good luck, I hope everything works out. NTA. Have him read the Lemon Clot survey on just normal. Take care op. Not the asshole. Giving birth is a serious medical procedure, not a spectator sport. It's all about you. Not the asshole. It's absolutely your decision. She can request it, but you can deny it. Emo, if someone is trying to force something like this, you can be as rude as you want to. Not the asshole. You are an emotional petri dish, but you were standing firm against an unsupportive husband and overbearing mill. That's a damn shiny spine you got there, mama. Die on this hill. You are establishing boundaries, and the sooner you do that, the sooner she's going to learn she can't bully you via her son into doing what she wants. I actually signed papers when I checked in for delivery that no one could get information from hospital staff about me or my baby. I'd ask about it on your next OB appointment. Not the asshole. While you are in the delivery room, get the doctor to cut your husband's umbilical cord too. Not the asshole. Your coochie will be in airplane mode, you pick who sees it. Not the asshole. Your body, your choice. Also, she only wants a relationship with you now because you're having a baby. She doesn't care about you or what you want, so why should you care about her or what she wants? Also, your husband is being childish, immature, and clearly doesn't see your point of view or doesn't care. Maybe think about having someone else go into the delivery room with you because he obviously can't handle it. Not the asshole. Giving birth is not a spectator sport. Not the asshole. You'll be the one pushing a little human being out of your body. It's your decision who gets to be there with you. Hold your ground on this and do not back down no matter what. No is a complete sentence, end of. Your husband needs to tell his mother to back off and stand by your side. He also needs to realize that giving birth is a serious medical procedure, not a spectator event that everyone and their dog needs to see. Not the asshole. Your husband does not get a +1 to your delivery. Not the asshole, he's lucky if he gets to be there now. He's got some nerve on him, for sure. Stand your ground. You're not comfortable with it and that's the only reason you need. Not the asshole, I'm 13 weeks ATM and my MIL is the last person I want in the delivery room or just after birth. I've told my partner that I want no visitors and it's up to him to break it to his mother. Not the asshole, all the previous comments. Your body, your choice. Not entertainment. Give hospital staff a heads up now in case baby is early and it's there in your file she can't be admitted. But she's got decades of seeing this grandchild. Unless she ostracizes herself by her bad behavior. There's really no need to see the birth. She can meet the baby when you see fit. Not the asshole. You are the one giving birth. You need to set boundaries with in-laws about the baby and this is a good place to start. He needs to man up and support you. Not the asshole. You initially explained everything nicely to him and your MIL many times. He didn't get the hint and needed to be told more sternly. Who is in the room is up to you 100%. You are the one who is fully exposed and pushing human life out of you. I'm even on the fence about having my own mother in the room when I give birth, so I couldn't imagine a MIL. Not the asshole, and if I can find it, the lemon clot essay puts in really black and white what to expect. Even for someone who doesn't push out a human bowling ball out of their body, pushing or getting it cut out. Why is he allowing his mommy to be part of what should be a beautiful bonding moment for you and your new baby with your so? Don't your feelings matter? Birth is not a spectator sport. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, you decide who's going to be in the delivery room. It's completely reasonable to only want your husband there. I would recommend speaking to the hospital beforehand and making it very clear she is not allowed to be in the room, because it sounds like she could show up and I wouldn't trust your husband to stop her. Dear gods, no, of course not the asshole. Cannot even imagine, and I liked my MIL. Your husband was trying to say that his mother's wish to see baby's first breath has equal weight to your need to have only people you trust with you at a time of great physical and emotional turmoil. I suggest counseling, if he will agree. Does he frequently side with his mother against you? Info. Op, you mention a sister in one comment. Have you thought about having your own mom or your sister in that spot? It would solve a lot of issues to just say, my sister is coming as my second support person. End of story. Not the asshole. This isn't even an issue. You get to decide who is in the room. You're 100% correct, and your partner is 100% in the wrong. You shouldn't have to explain this to him. Right now, he is putting his mother's butt-hurt feelings ahead of his wife's physical, emotional, and mental health. The mother needs to get over herself, and your partner needs to step up to the plate and, just as you say, support you. P.S. It's a wonderful experience. I've given birth 5 times. Remember, your body is built to handle this. It's an amazing moment when you hold that baby in your arms. Good luck. Not the asshole, and let me just say I'm totally proud of you for sticking to your guns and telling him flat out that he was not being supportive as a partner. You didn't scream. Didn't call him names. You just told him that it's your choice who sees you going through this huge vulnerable moment and that if he didn't get that he wasn't showing maturity and understanding. That's all absolutely true and you expressed yourself correctly. I hope that he comes around and apologizes, but if not, please continue to protect yourself on this. You deserve a comfortable and memorable experience, not a stressful, embarrassing moment that you'll regret. Not the asshole. You are not some broodmare whose purpose is to deliver her a grandbaby. You are a wife and mother and this experience is yours. You make the rules. Not her. Not your husband. His behavior on this issue is deeply concerning and I hope he gets it together and realizes where his priorities need to be. Most women would, rightfully so, throw a fit in your position. You are not the crazy one here and don't you dare let him gaslight you. Not the asshole. I about lost it when our minister announced what day, time I was going to be induced and invited people to stop by. My husband is the one who turned those unwanted visitors away. Childbirth is one of the most difficult and vulnerable positions you'll ever be in. If your husband won't support you, make a birth plan with your doctor and hospital. Medical staff won't cave to your husband or his ridiculous mother. ETA, I would seriously rethink having your husband there at all unless he will fully support you. Not the asshole. I agree with all the above comments with the not the asshole designation. Watch a video of what a live birth entails and try to find one where the woman is screaming bloody murder and her vagina is up close on the camera. Make sure you also have in that video where the afterbirth and all this blood comes out. And if you can find a video where the delivery mom accidentally poops, then have him see that too. Your mother-in-law does not deserve to be in the delivery room, and at this point your husband needs to support you 100%. Alert your OB doctor and her staff about the mother-in-law's intentions to be in the delivery room. Make it clear to them who is allowed to be in there and who is not. Congratulations on becoming a mom soon. Stand your ground. Not the asshole. It's childbirth, not a show. I'll never understand why people feel entitled to watch someone give birth. It should be medical professionals and the father. Not the asshole, of course. Has your husband seen any videos of women giving birth? And then the moments afterwards as well? He might think it's like TV. Yell, breathe, push, and voila. Baby's here and clean and everyone is happy and smiling. Not the asshole. You should let the hospital security know that Mill is not allowed in your delivery. Chances are she won't respect your wishes and try to force her way in. Not the asshole. When I was pregnant with my first, my Mill made a comment that she'd like to be there, and I just said, "Sorry, but this is a very private moment that should be shared by just me, and so, I understand it's your first grandchild, but it's also our first child, and one of the most vulnerable moments of my life, so sorry but no." She never asked again because my significant other had my back. I'm not understanding why your husband isn't grasping why this is so important. It's not about his mother or her feelings, and to an extent it is not about him or what he wants. You should be comfortable with how you choose to do things, and you have the last say. He doesn't have to go through labor, you do. I told him that anyone who refuses to protect their pregnant partner failed them and is just deadweight in the delivery room, had been your initial reaction or the first thing you said. That would have been an asshole thing to do, but that isn't what happened. You talked to him very reasonably about it and he just wouldn't listen. I'm not surprised you lost your patience and said that, and honestly if he argued with you that much about it, he really is deadweight. Not only that, but I would be really afraid of what other things he is going to choose or side on later in life. Sounds like you need to read R. Justnormal and R. Just No So. Not the asshole. Giving birth is your show, and you decide who will be there. My non-negotiable rule was, aside from doc, midwife, if you weren't present at the conception you are not invited to the birth. Not the asshole. Giving birth is so raw and pure, and I would hate for someone to ruin that for me. I am sorry your partner feels more concerned about his mother's feeling than yours. Why would you want anyone else in there to see you naked and in pain other than your so? I hope they don't spoil the delivery for you. Tell him that he can FaceTime her as soon as the baby is out. Wow. Not the asshole. Who is in the delivery room is entirely up to you. Your partner needs to support you in this and cut the apron strings. I suspect he's motivated mainly by not wanting to put up with his mother's whining. Talk to the hospital about this and make your wishes known. If you don't think they're taking you seriously, and you're in the US, mention HIPAA and point out that if she is in there they'll be giving her medical information that you don't want her to have. Not the asshole. I don't know your situation, but if your Mill wants to be there, your mother probably want to. So why would his mother have the right to be there and not yours? Even worse, you have a bad relationship with her. I think that only your partner should be there for the delivery, and the mother can come in after the baby is born. I don't see this as unreasonable.